continue to keep, working towards getting it back to budget, but we have if you look at the bottom line here, overall budget is about 50,700,000. And when we look at cost for construction, we're targeting 47, so about $3.6 million over budget. But again, we're finding ways, and there's some stuff that has been happening in the past week that's bringing that closer back down to budget. So as we move forward, we're going to continue to kind of work that way. Site plans. I think everyone's kind of familiar with where the building's set on that north side, up on the hillside, north of the former Red Center. And kind of a few things that on the site, the big movements is kind of setting that building up on the site to have a drop-off line that comes through across the front entry. Right?
Might have been the first.
Do I hit it again? Do I hit that?
No.
Just the white part, yeah.
Alright. So visitors coming and dropping off students, or I guess, this is the public entrance piece. So as spectators are coming, they're getting dropped off in the front entryway. Buses have a little drop off for athletes that are coming to have their entrance at the end of the building, kind of separation for safety and athlete safety. You see the ring road that goes around the back. We need to have access for the fire department to come in. There's also, because of the height of our building, they gotta be able to get the ladder truck there. So there's some requirements on that road where it needs to be from the building, so you see the ring road. Also is gonna be used for our deliveries. The idea that this is gonna be gated off and closed off, so public isn't going back there, only people that are supposed to be going back there are going back. We do have additional parking, and again, we're looking at the amount as we're evaluating budget, but having some additional parking to what's existing out there. And that's really gonna be probably used more for, identified as aquatic use only, so as we have events that happen at the Home Arts Center, people that are using aquatic center still have parking spaces to get kind of close to the building. We'll probably have some barrier-free parking in that area. And you can see we're starting to get to plant lists now, so we're designing planting beds and going into a little bit more level of detail. But a great entry plaza, you'll see kind of in our renderings as we look, but nice entry piece, kind of focusing on where the public comes in. And so our floor plan, kind of walk through, I'm sure everyone's kind of seen some of these snippets for a while, but I'll just kind of go quickly. Main entrance coming into the vestibule and the lobby space. We have some multi-purpose rooms that are similar to the two rooms that are here. Side and use. Off that lobby space, it also has direct access to the pool deck for the 50-meter pool. Bathrooms, restrooms, we've got some administration, office, and conference room in the corner. And then the big thing for the students and the public is we've got this is the school athlete side of the locker room, so we've got men and women's, boys and girls locker rooms, access is coming in. Like I was talking about on the site where we have that access. We have a control point so public doesn't go back into that area. And then we've got on the other side, we've got our community locker rooms. So we've got family locker rooms, male and female locker rooms and back. And one kind of neat thing that we're doing is we've got trying to give people access to both pools. Athletes from Forest Hills are going to be coming in and have access to the 50-meter pool, and through the pool deck we can get access to the warm water pool. But the community has a hallway to come out of the locker rooms. They have a hallway that can see the warm water pool for 50. And we're utilizing that space between the two pools to put like their pool management, and then some storage for pools between those. This is to me, this is a great space that allows the public, whether they're dropping kids off for swim lessons that might be happening in the warm water pool, but giving them an observation level that looks down into both pools. So it's kind of that interstitial mezzanine that's between the top floor for spectators, but accessed off the lobby space. And then as we go up, we get to the spectator area where we have all of our seating about 800 on the bleachers, plus additional seating across the back. Men's and women's bathrooms and session area out, and then a little area outside as get them out of the path of traffic so that they can order a food first if they want. And we've been developing the exterior a bit. The one thing that's kind of our focal point, where's the piece we want to put our focus or a little bit more effort into is at that front entrance. So you can see we've got the steps kind of coming up. There's a little bit of a grade from as you make the turn and that drop off lane as it comes up. Working on some signage locations, but the idea of having a low wall as you come in becomes a seat wall, students and people can gather and sit on that area as you continue on up into the front entry point. Off to this, you see this is the corridor that takes you down to those community bathrooms or locker rooms, and then we've got exit that's out that end of the door. So everybody's coming in through the front door, but there's ways that they can exit out for convenience, especially in the winter time. And then this is kind of set back. I would say this is probably a view outside the front of the Performing Arts Center looking back at the hillside. But we're really enjoying kind of working with that blue and how that, looking at, we have 3 different colors, 4 colors, so we're going to get that blend of the tiled metal panel at that entryway. Interior, we've been looking at concepts, designs. This is the direction we're moving forward with. As you come into this main entrance, this is kind of standing just inside the vestibule. From the vestibule where you've got the reading desk in the front. This is the conference room that's over by the little admin area. But given that direction and flowing us right in, you see windows that are looking over to the 50-meter pool. We're underneath that spectator level, so you can kind of see the slope. We're looking at the underside of that. So as we come in, it kind of comes down because we have seating all above. And then access to those multi-purpose rooms. Having a lot of visibility. The flexibility for that space is you can use those multi-purpose rooms, but if you have a larger group, that can bleed out into the lobby space, so if you wanted to rent the whole space up. So we have windows that are kind of with blinds that have visibility looking in and out of those multi-purpose rooms.
Can I ask, on this view, I'm trying to get my vertical orientation, is this view out, if you go straight down there to the left and the right, you can see both pools? So is this main level above the pool water?
Yeah, so as you come into the lobby, this is looking into the 50-meter pool. And the hallway that goes to the,
okay, it's level with it. Okay,
on the first
the
floor.
other viewing areas.
And so you can't quite see right, we might see this on the picture, but the stairway that goes up is just around that corner.
Okay.
And then that's where you go up and look. So you can kind of see, this is another view from that lobby by the reception area. The stair that goes up and in the back, that's that mezzanine level looking down at both. And here we are standing up on top of that first level, looking down into the lobby and back at the main entrance. And this is the view up on top of that area. So we've got some nice windows looking down into both. We're looking to the north, so the stair would be directly behind where this kind of image is rendered from. And now this is up on the upper level as we came around that last set of stairs, looking towards the entry as we go into that spectator area. This is a little kind of a pre-lobby space before you go into it. As we're taking tickets and taking money, you're only have a table set up in this location as you're letting people into that pool. Before we go down to the lobby space, but depends on where you want. There's multiple spots that they can do that. But we've been having a good time looking at ceilings and materials. We were just discussing that coming in the next 2 weeks. 2 weeks, right in December, we're gonna bring all materials and lay them all out so we can grab, touch and feel and look at and kind of walk through it.
It's the wagon day.
Yeah. The wagon day.
Coming up.
And then here, this is up in that spectator at the top. This would be the idea. We have 2 different concession windows. Whether you make orders at one and pick them up at the other, you could do that, or you depending on the volume and how many people, maybe you want to have both of those open. But we have along the top, we've got our bleachers that are going down where you're just on a bench. And then if we get to the top, we've got this back row that's sitting up on the level that is is a row of seats that actually have a backrest to it. It's kind of a nice thing to have, so we're not putting it, it's a cost, so we're not putting that everywhere, but we're putting that kind of a little bit of space. Have a few seats for that. And then the area behind that is kind of that worktop space. So if someone needed to be working on a laptop while swimming's going on, someone who snuck out of work could still get some work done.
At that top level by a lot of those chairs as well, the backs is also really hard, ADA.
Yep.
For them who are in wheelchairs, and there's spaces for them too.
And that was it.
That's great.
Coming along.
So from an exterior finishes standpoint, it looks like that's gonna be more of a standalone building, not something that meshes and looks like the rest of the campus.
So there's the one thing that kind of pops into is that blue,
Right.
right? That mosaic
Yes.
kind of changing colors. The rest of the building, as we start to look, we're looking at color samples, so on Wednesday, tomorrow. We're bringing in some color samples to kind of look at what the rest of this is. We're kind of showing muted tones right now because we haven't made that final selection. But, the block that you see, that, veneer on the staircase that goes up, we're matching it. The idea is that it's matching similar panels here.
Okay.
Some of these grays are showing a little blue, and I think it has to do with the rendering. It's also kind of picking up on the gray tones in the dark. So the building is, we're kind of matching what's on site. The only thing that makes that pop is that blue.
Can you go back to one of the renderings for the inside on the first floor? Nope. It's one of the schematic designs, not like a finished design.
Oh,
Oh,
One
from
of
the very
blueprints.
beginning.
One of the blueprint pictures.
oh, you wanna see the floor plan?
Yeah. the
Oh,
floor
I
plan.
got you, sorry.
That one right there. What are those blue boxes in the back?
This is all of our pool equipment, so all the pumps, mechanical, our main water service is coming in there, electrical speed's gonna come in there. It's kind of our back of house, but it has all the pumps that are controlling all the water. They're kind of, I can't remember what they call the system that sucks the chlorine off the top of the water, so you have a nice breathable surface at the water's edge. So there's, all of that is all being managed back here, and that's where deliveries would come in for the chlorine and stuff.
Okay, and then the smaller one to the right is more mechanical?
This is the storage for the warm water pool, and this is storage for the 50-meter pool. We've got some additional storage kind of scattered. Meet mobile. Management, which they could either do it in the room, or they could set up a table on the deck, and there's flexibility of where they manage the meet.
Okay.
The idea that, a school swim meet, students are using, these couple of the locker rooms over here, they're in something that's a USA or a, club swim meet, they're gonna be using the locker room over here. So this is really, from that quarter over, is really dedicated just to the school.
In the locker rooms, cause I can't see the level of detail, from over here, are there individual showers in the locker rooms, or is it a big bank of open showers?
We've got, did we change it?
So the team locker rooms have, it was actually a community forum feedback with students. They wanted like an open shower room, but then we also have two separated, so they'll have both. But their specific request was related to the number of students who need to get showered off very quickly to get out of there. And so they were very concerned that only having the number of stalls we had, they would not be able to do that. And the fact that they shower off with their suits normally, they just felt like that was the best way to go. So we have both on that side. Community side is all individual stalls.
Okay, thank you. And what did you, so I know when we went on the pool tour, we looked at different types of pools and material. What material did you end up deciding to go with for the pool itself?
We're pushing forward with the porcelain tile pool. As far as the whole pool itself will be tile. And then, will be, not the Bertha style that we saw in Indiana. This is the tile pool with, water level at the deck, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, and how did you come to deciding on using that one over the other one?
There's, maintenance is like between the stainless steel pool, which is the Mertha pool, or more traditional, which is the tile. That comes down to maintenance and, familiarity. They're doing more and more of those stainless steel pools. You see them in the Olympics where they built them up in the middle of, the
Sort of stadium.
stadium.
Yeah.
And they're great pools. It's just, there's also the tested time of, they haven't been around a lot. So it comes to like, what's the weariness of looking at it? And in some of the pools we did tour, the Mertha one down there, the one thing that we saw was a lot of discoloration, some staining that was happening, and it kind of has to do with your water and controls, but they apparently solved that problem. So I mean, just between working with facilities, kind of working with that familiarity, and both pools are great. Cost has a little bit of factor, but not a big factor.
Okay. Just looking at my list. So I know when we initially had talked about the pool, the length was going to be more than 50 meters, so that you could have a separate diving well, have that bulkhead still there for people to be able to walk across and maintain being able to run a 50-meter pool length.
So,
What
yeah,
happened with that?
So there's a couple things. We have 50-meter pool, and I don't want to say this incorrectly. So there's a 50-meter pool, and there's a 50-meter stretch, and I think you're talking about the stretch is where they put a bulkhead in, and from that, we're doing the 50 meters. So you can run that event with the diving well open. The 50-meter events are more of the club sports, collegiate. So at the time that the decision came down to cost and budget, I think when we took that, you have to add 40 more feet to the pool length. So it's a matter of stretching that pool out 40 more feet. When we put that dollar value, it's like $6 million, $4 million. When you think of not just the pool expansion, but the actual building. So budget really pushed it. And having the club sports, they don't do diving for a USA swim meet, so they don't need diving well open. And so we're using the 50-meter pool, can be used, and then they use the warm water as kind of that warm-up space. So we have an extra lane on the 50-meter, and then we're using the warm, so USA meet, or the college can use that. College still doesn't do 50 meters.
So it's, just to offer some additional information, so it's 25-yard width.
25 yards this
So
direction.
we'll have two bulkheads, so we'll have the ability to, if you think of like our events, right, at the high school athletic level, we all have a bulkhead in the meets, and then the diving on the other side of the bulkhead as well.
So the high school meets will still run at 25 meters,
Yes.
25 yards.
Yes. Yep.
And they'll still run this way to a bulkhead.
You go, yeah.
They have
Not-
the option to do both, they have the option to go.
We can either run, you can run
That
the
way,
meet,
yeah.
I mean, this way, if you want, let's say you have a conference meet and you want to have more lanes. And so you're allowing more swimmers. You in a sense could put the bulkhead here, still have the diving well, and have 14 lanes if you wanted to. I would think that the way you got it set up, you're gonna have a bulkhead here, and you're gonna run from the wall to the bulkhead for your 25 yards. And then you're gonna have another bulkhead here, so you have the warm-up lanes between that, and then you're gonna have your diving well.
Okay.
It's probably how they run.
Are you going to be setting up, what are the diving blocks gonna look like then? Like, cause I can't imagine you're gonna have them along this edge and this edge permanently placed.
Yeah, no, I think, I think it comes down to how the coaches want to, they may come to an agreement on how they're gonna run it. We're anticipating they're gonna run the high school meet off the blocks here.
Off the blocks,
We're going off the
okay,
block.
okay.
But we will be meeting with them, we have a focus group coming up in December. And they, not all of them, they've all been invited to participate. We've had, one in particular who has come to every single one they've been invited to. But we'll bring that focus group back together and kind of walk through this and start to go through that, a little bit of information with them to narrow it down.
And then is this also set up so that water polo is, they're gonna be able to walk up and down the bulkhead, like the depth of the
Yeah.
pool is appropriate in the right
Yeah.
spots for water
Yeah,
polo?
we're maintaining our depth, I think 8.5 feet. For the majority of the pools, you get to diving, and then that's going down to the 14, which is required for the 3-meter diving platform, diving boards. And it most likely for a meet, for water polo, you'll probably put that in the center, because you have spaces on both sides for warm up and kind of jumping in. And then they can get full access around that area for the officials.
Okay, and then where do the bulkheads stay? I mean, cause you would need then, if you're gonna do water polo in the middle of the pool, you'll need to have two separate bulkheads, so you can run them.
Yeah,
Where do these all stay? Are they easy to get in and out of the pool? Or do
they stack, so during, they'll probably stay, like through the season, they'll probably stay at the same spot. They'll probably be set for what a meet would be, so we'll have a bulkhead here, and another bulkhead here.
Okay.
When you go to a 50-meter meet, both bulkheads will go against here, so they'll back up, and that's what's turning that line from the wall here to there.
So the pool is actually gonna be a little bit more than 50
Yes.
meters to account for
Yes.
the depth of the bulkhead.
I believe we have a 6-foot bulkhead and a 4-foot bulkhead.
Okay.
So one of those bulkheads also has the ability, like if you wanted to run 2 meets at the same time, you can run off of one, like you set your bulkhead, you set the other bulkhead at 225 yard, and you can run simultaneous 2 meets. So that one bulkhead has the ability to put starting blocks on the bulkhead as well.
Okay.
So we're putting in, we're setting the pool edge to have bulkhead, blocks that inserts that can drop in all the way around the north side and on the east side, and then that one wider bulkhead will have the ability to put blocks in. And the blocks it's not, sure it's for what you're actually doing, it's pretty simple to move, but it does take a little bit of time. So I would guess that they're gonna set up for meets and, that way, during practices, you'll have kind of 3 separate pools that you could use as you're bringing in, diving could be working in the well, like on a regular weekday, if the swim teams are gonna be working on diving, and you'll have the 2 separate teams kind of come in and have their area and practice at the same time.
And then you said, this is sort of a bigger question, you just said that, you narrowed things down from an initial wish list of things. What were some of the things that got narrowed out?
Hot tubs, we don't need a hot tub in here.
Hot tub was on the wish list.
There was, also kind of like part of diving training, a trampoline, a platform.
Okay.
We are set up that we've got spaces down the road if you wanted to bring that in for a dry land training for diving. And we're setting those spots where you can hook up the harnesses. So we'll have that forward diving into the water harness kind of a system, and then also the ability to easily add that down the road. So flexibility, making sure we're providing spaces for all things. The other thing is just a lot of what's happening in the locker rooms too. And I wouldn't say we really took anything out for locker room use, but.
And are there showers on the wall over there behind
Yep.
the diving platform?
Yeah, showers on the wall behind the boards. So what we have, we've set up with 2 1-meter sets on each side, and in the center we have a 3-meter. And so again, both schools can practice at the same time, one could be on one could be on the other. We have the ability to run dual meet for diving as well, so we'll have the hookups and connections. So your system, your scoring system and everything, it's quite it's all in the, built into the system that you purchase. So it's gonna be a great space to have flexibility.
And that, athlete seating at the pool level, not like those areas out.
Yeah, we've got down in front, we've got some areas for, these are kind of those fold-up bleachers that we've seen. So all along, not all along, but some area on the, below the spectator seating, and then really that wall across the north, having the ability to add it. And there's still room that we can add a little bit to. So as you get those big conference meet or USA swimming comes in, they get a lot of students and a lot of kids out on that floor, on that pool deck.
And what was the spectator seating threshold to be able to host state meets and things like that?
We were targeting that 800, I think the sales last for the conference was 825.
The last 3 years of state meets has been about 800, the number of ticket sales for each of those state meets. So we have 8 seating for 800, plus you have the observation deck, plus you have the spot behind. So we'll be able to accommodate well over 800.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we 1,200, 1,300, 1,400 people could comfortably fill all the spaces. But it's just in the bleachers seating, I think we're a little over 8.
Yeah.
Because of the seating at that top row.
I'm trying to get a feel for what non-athletic events look like here at times. I mean, like just open community swims, or when schools come in, whales tails and all this stuff. is all of that would take place only in the warm water pool? Is that how we envision that? Or like, is there diving board use for kids during open swim, so we have both pools?
Yeah, I think depending on what, because some people might wanna do laps to 50 meter, so you may have a lane that's set up.
Yeah.
In the morning, or, so, some people that's going, there's a preference of, do you want colder water or warm water, because each pool will have different temperature. A lot of your swim lessons, aerobics, physical therapy is happening in that warm water, it's a shallower pool. I believe we do have a depth on that one side, it's slow, we can, little kids can dive, we're still at that minimum depth for, diving off of the ends going in this way. So a lot of that activity for the community is really gonna be happening over here, but a lot of clubs will be using the space out here if someone wants that longer lane. It all comes down to like what type of season we're in and what the high school's gonna be doing, because if the high school's setting it up for practice in the afternoon, they're not gonna wanna put lanes in for that 50 meter.
Because how many people can fit in the warm water pool? What's the capacity of that? I don't know if there is a number.
It's I think,
100 people?
I don't know, I know 100 people, you could get a class of, 80 people, 100 people in that pool. It comes
Like I can see an aerobics class obviously fitting. I'm trying to get a sense, like, compared to this, what are the dimensions of that thing? I mean,
So
what's the size of that pool?
this space here is similar to the space here.
Okay, yeah.
And so when you
That's
think
still-
about,
that's still
think
obviously
about
a very
the
deep,
length,
long pool, yeah.
How big is your existing pool?
it's a 25-yard pool, but it has a diving well on the side, so it's like half of this.
Because that's the space that I envision, like open swim, where there's a lot of shallow space, so there's lots of little kids and families playing, there's deeper space, there's diving and jump, diving board stuff happening all kind of together, but we won't really have that.
You won't have
during
any,
community
you won't have any
swim.
diving boards over here, you just have that, teaching how to dive off the wall,
Yeah, just from the
and then if they wanna use the boards.
we get used to it.
And that's why we wanna make sure there's an easy access with them. I think, during the day when you don't have students there, unless a class is going to do swim lessons, or a grade's gonna come and do swim lessons, you have the flexibility of opening up, the idea that both pools would be open to the public.
Yeah.
Depending on how you wanna manage it and work it, but there's no reason why you couldn't open both pools.
Right, and is there any shallow aspect of the main lap pool? It's
No.
all.
8 feet,
right?
8.5 feet, there is this, there's a ledge that they can stand on, their feet can kind of rest as you hold onto the wall.
And how many yards is the warm water pool?
It's 25 yards,
It's 25.
25 yards in this direction, so we've got 4 lanes
4 lanes,
set up for that.
okay. And does that have, an accessibility slope to get
Yes.
in?
Yeah, we've got quite a large stairway that comes down into the steps, we've got a ramp that comes down, and then along that ramp, we also have a bench, so it's a great setup for young kids and learning, because a little staging, a little area for gathering, with some bleachers and seating, so if everyone's coming in to the pool, they can start here, get in the pool, as you're doing instruction, you showing how to push off walls and swim, the little kids can all sit on that bench. They've done a handful of pools like this, and it just works out great for that learning.
Makes sense,
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
you're welcome.
Thank you.
You got that.
Take a clicker.
Or I'll forget my own. Thank you. I am just going to continue to mess with our discussion section, I'll just go right into the bond shelter property. Since we're kind of concluding. Ladies, so we have a few things on our agenda, an action section that we'll talk through, but again, just a reminder, the calendars will be scheduled to be complete in December, and may take us a little bit after to do a few of those other things, pending your approval. And then, as we talked about, this is really just been a challenging project for that facility. Pine Ridge is on the opposite end, it's gone very well, and then we'll have some turnovers coming up here at winter break, and another one at spring break, and if it all goes well, we'll be ready, for students for their final phase exam next August. And Eastern Middle School, that secure entrance is just continuing to come along as well. OAK went out and did some drone shots out at Eastern for us, so here is one of the images that they captured, one day last week, so this is very fresh and new, so it is living along, but that just looks totally cool. I'm excited about that.
I think that's a computer graphic.
I'm sorry?
That looks like a computer
Doesn't
graphic,
it?
yeah.
But it is so cool, and then that, darker image here, I don't know if that's showing, that's where that auxiliary turf field will end up being, you know, wherever that is timing wise for our phasing, but that will be right here. So it just was a really cool shot, so I'm glad they do it, we gotta get them over to Northern and do that. Did not get any updated pictures from Northern, but if you've been out there, that one's just moving right along, that husky on that field is just totally awesome, so I'm really excited about both of these projects. Central High is out to bid officially right now. Those bids are due December 4, and we are looking to bring back a recommendation to the board at the January meeting, with construction to begin after school. That's out in June. Roofing, paving, mechanical at a variety of locations. We have paving and mechanical that out to bid right now as well. And same thing, we would look to bring that back to with recommendation in January. Aquatic Center, we had just our fabulous presentation here this morning. Our focus group gets together that Monday right after we come back from Thanksgiving break. So we'll look to remind those folks here right before they head out for Thanksgiving. So design will continue. You saw that on that schedule. We'll bid this in July, with construction starting next fall and taking a couple of years to complete. Northern Hills, we continue to meet on a monthly basis right now. We just met last week, I think. And they are working on some site visits, so taking some staff from Northern Hills Middle and going to look at a couple sites for areas that they are focusing in on and what their desires are for that building, from an instructional perspective. So we'll continue to design through July, and then construction will begin in April of 26. So we got a little bit to go for this one. Ada Elementary, we had their kickoff meeting last week, so that was fun. And it was really just to learn about how the space is being used right now, the programming of it. You know, it's a little complex building in terms of we have early childhood special ed, we have our preschool, other preschool programs that are there, so there's a lot of things that are going on. So we just really talked through all of those, and then we will start meeting on a more regular basis starting in January is what the group decided, with designing through next fall. Elementary playgrounds, you know, again, this was additional equipment and some that's more accessible. Corey has been working with a representative from Sinclair Recreation, and as well as our principals, and walking the sites of each of the schools and trying to figure out what might make the most sense and what are some of the needs. So they are still working through that. We thought we were going to have to split it, and then they were thinking, they as in Sinclair, no, we think we can accomplish that all in one summer and be ready by fall. We may have to split it, which is why I said we may have to split, because that makes me a little bit nervous. That's a lot to get done with one contractor in the summer, and you just never know. So we are still exploring that potential of having to split you off and do it the following summer. And then on the horizon, Meadowbrook. So we have our kickoff meeting that's already scheduled on the books. That is next month. We'll continue to design through December of 25, with construction starting after school is out on June 26th. And Northern High would then be next on the docket, circling back to that building and addressing the rest of that. We will meet sometime in May. We haven't even scheduled that, but that is on our calendar. Alright, that is our bond construction update.
I have a question.
Yeah. Do you want me to go back to one of the slides?
No, it's okay. Could you remind me how, I'm a little confused on the process, because I remember at previous meetings, I'm pretty sure, of saying that, like, for Central High School, that you're gonna be coming to the board in November for authorization to go out to bid. Like, show us the designs and everything to get approval from the board to then go out and solicit bids after that. And now it
So-
seems like we've skipped that part and you're just going out to bid.
No, the board doesn't approve us authorizing us to go out to bid, but GMB was here at the October meetings presenting the design for Central High School. They came to both the finance and the curriculum committee meetings.
So why is it that I'm recalling that it was gonna be coming up at the November board meeting?
I don't recall saying that I was bringing anything to the November meeting to the board for Central High School.
I wasn't expecting that either, yeah, before, because we already saw the plans that were last month.
Yeah, I was having,
Okay,
I was having GMB come in October, present the design plans, and then it goes out to bid in November. And then bringing it to the board in January, bids in December.
Okay, so at what point then does the board give its okay that, yeah, we think this is great and should be going ahead, or, and I don't think that's what ever happened, but no, we don't like this, and I think you've gone in completely in the wrong direction, like, where does that happen? You know, because the board has to authorize the funds, so at what point do we get to be involved and say, hey, yep, looks great, keep going?
Well, part of it, I can't remember, was it Tom, that was the board member in Lowell? I think he talked a little bit
Yeah.
about like that whole process. The board is that oversight of giving us the power and administration to execute and implement the plans. So, no, and so that's basically what Julie's been doing is, and then giving updates to share, this is where we're at, giving the timeline, and that's part of the reason we did the new quarterly meeting and all that, is to get you all involved in it, and she's been doing these updates too, to keep people abreast of where we're at in those processes. So, I guess as far as, the actual details, there isn't really a spot where the board's gonna get involved with like what's happening in the restrooms and in the, meeting spaces and all of that. That's a responsibility that the administration takes and works with the experts within the.
But shouldn't that also come to the board so that when the community has questions about, hey, what's going on with this, that we have the ability to answer those questions?
Basically just kind of like questions about her.
Well, we send it to Julie,
Right,
and
when we
she
found
oversees, oversees operations and construction and stuff like that. Right, and then yeah. You're never at committee meetings, so you probably can see those. but-
Oh, I'm at some of them.
No,
so-
obviously,
Yeah.
no, but obviously not last month, right?
Last month, a long time ago, my brain doesn't go back that far.
Yeah, that is one of the challenges, is
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
always
Right.
have one board member that's not part of it, and so you see a slide deck or whatever, and then discussions take place, but you aren't part of that.
Right.
And I know that's a void for you, information void for you,
Right.
with wanting to have more knowledge about some of the projects.
I guess, I feel a responsibility to the community who has entrusted us with millions of dollars for each of these different projects, to be able to say, yes, I feel like that project